Welcome students to this e-learning class. Today I am going to discuss William Blake's poem The Lamb, and subsequently I shall be discussing in my next lecture the poem The Tiger. These poems are included in your core paper, which is Romantic Literature. You see, Romanticism, if we can actually posit a date, it started from the year 1798 with the publication of the lyrical ballads by Wordsworth and Coleridge. But this shift or transformation from 18th century idea of enlightenment and rationality into a very romantic exposition had two historical events at its core. One was obviously the French Revolution, which gave us the idea of liberty, fraternity, equality, and the ascendancy of the reformist zeal. The other movement was, or the other historical event was, the Industrial Revolution in England. William Blake had witnessed this Industrial Revolution, and he was not very satisfied with this establishment of factories and chimneys, which on one hand they are polluting, they are corrupting this environment, this serene atmosphere, our mother earth. And there is also, on the other hand, there is also a degeneration of human values. So Blake, being a very devout Christian, wrote his famous collection of poems. There are two books, Songs of Innocence and Songs of Experience. The poem that I am going to read now, The Lamb, is included in the first collection, which is Songs of Innocence. Let me read out and discuss. The poem starts with like this: Little lamb, who made thee? Dost thou know who made thee? Gave thee life and bid thee feed by the stream and over the mead. Gave thee clothing of delight, softest clothing woolly bright. Gave thee such a tender voice, making all the wells rejoice. Little lamb, who made thee? Dost thou know who made thee? So this is the first stanza, and in this stanza, a child is asking the lamb about its creator. Does he actually know who created him? Do we actually know the foundation of our existence? This is the critical interrogation posited by a child to a lamb. And very significantly, lamb is here a creature which signifies passivity, meekness, and an innocence. So lamb is not like the tiger or any fierce wild animals. It is a very docile kind of creature. It is a very passive animal whom human beings can domesticate. So you see, the poem is very simple enough. A child is asking a lamb who gave him its beautiful fleece and charming and joyful voice. In the next part, in the next stanza, the child does not wait for the answer, but he proceeds to give the answer all by himself. See what Blake is writing in the next stanza. Little lamb, I will tell thee, little lamb, I will tell thee. Repetition of the lines. He is called by thy name, for he calls himself a lamb. He is meek and he is mild, he became the little child. I a child and thou a lamb, we are called by his name. Little lamb, God bless thee, little lamb, God bless thee. In the last line is also a repetition of the previous line, and this repetition is used for the sake of emphasis. See, the child is tapping into the deep and timeless question that all human beings have about their origins and the nature of creation. The entity who has created us, the human beings, he has also created this beautiful universe, the nature or mother nature, and all the other creatures existing on this planet. So we have a singular origin, And the fundamental task of the philosophers and also the man of science throughout the ages is to explore, is to unravel who lies behind our creation, who is there behind our birth, behind the existence of this universe. And see, the child's answer, however, reveals his confidence in the simple Christian faith and his innocent acceptance of religious teachings. You see, in this line, he's saying, he is called by thy name, for he calls himself a lamb. This is the very biblical saying that Jesus Christ will appear at the end of this our creation in the form of a lamb, but this time not for continuing the prosperity, but as a force of destruction, for destroying the universe. I shall also refer W.B. Yeats' poem, The Second Coming, where there is this biblical allegory of Jesus Christ being born in the form of a lamb. So you see, lamb, as a creature symbolizing innocence, will take birth for destroying the evils of this world. If you have read the short story by Oscar Wilde, The Selfish Giant, you will see that the little boy, who is the embodiment of Christ, he actually transforms the evils existing in the consciousness of the large giant into and including him into and imbibing in his persona the Christian ethics and virtue. So the giant has completely transformed himself from being a jealous monster into a very generous, kind-hearted person. And at last, he leaves his mortal body and goes to paradise along with the little boy who is actually the Christ. So here, innocence is faced with evil. In the biblical saying, according to the biblical mythology, innocence will also face evil at the end. This is what is the concept of Armageddon. Now, see, the image of child is associated with Jesus. In the Gospel, Jesus displays a special solitude for children, and the Bible depiction of Jesus in his childhood shows him as guileless and vulnerable. So, in this sense, the child is associated or equated with the lamb itself. Blake, I've told you that Blake was a very devout Christian, and Blake saw the more positive aspects of the conventional Christian belief. You see, the child and lamb are unified with God, and the qualities that link them together are innocence, meekness, and gentleness, signifying the gentle, tender, innocent aspect of human soul. As we know, Jesus Christ, in reference of this lamb imagery, the symbol of lamb, he takes away all sin of the world. So, whereas the meadows where the lamb pasture and the valley which actually resounds with the bleat of lamb symbolize the land of bliss, which is actually paradise where human beings dwell. So this, in short, is a brief discussion regarding the lamb. But in your exam, you have to give reference to all the poems. In my next lecture, I shall be talking about the other poem taken from Songs of Experience, which is the title. Thank you.